Alright, we are back. And it looks like we are gonna go hang out at the Millennial Fair. There's definitely a few things that you're gonna want to do here. Here's the first one is talk to Melchior. Tell him that you want to buy a weapon. Or trick him into thinking you want to buy a weapon and don't actually buy one, you sneaky Chrono. The important thing is just that you talk to him, because he's going to prompt you to ask or try to see if you'll try to get Marl into selling her pendant, and you do not want to do that, because that will reflect poorly on you. I believe she says right when you get her that it was a family heirloom, and we don't want to sell our family heirlooms, do we? I believe you have to talk to that NPC there to continue on with the story. She'll tell you that Luca is ready for you. But we're not ready to see Luca yet, are we? We're gonna go help this little girl find her cat. So the cat's located outside there. That little pink bag over there is actually that old elderly gentleman's lunch, and I believe you can eat it. Although that's not going to not going to reflect very well on your character. So maybe if you're into eating elderly individuals' food, then by all means go ahead and eat their food. But we're gonna leave it alone for this playthrough. And over here on the left side is where Mr. Gato, I think that's Gato. It's Gato or Gato. I don't know. I don't know how you want to say his name. I like Gato. That's actually how I used to pronounce it, I guess, when I was little. The singing robot. Kind of ridiculous. When you beat him up, he gives you 15 silver points. Silver points, for those of you who have never played the game before, silver points are the currency that you can spend at the Millennial Fair. Sort of like tickets, I guess. I go back and forth and crush Gato a couple of times for his silver points. I believe I wanted to get the clone right away, and that's why I spent some time thrashing the robot. The clone you can get right now. I always like to do it early, take care of it right away for later in the game. I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't played, but it's an optional item. You definitely don't have to get it. I think you can actually beat the game without it, but I always did. I always made sure I got everything I could and did all the extra side quests, and that's what we're gonna do on this playthrough. So like I said, you can come back here later and do it if you want, but we're gonna take care of it right now. Alright, so we just got done thrashing the robot, and I believe I went outside and saved, which I definitely recommend doing, because this next part is a little mini game that, if not done right, will you'll end up losing your silver points. So like I said, definitely recommend saving before you do this, and it's gonna take 40. So we're doing the little game that costs 40 silver points. It's the mimic game. So you basically do what the clone there is doing. So it's left hand, right hand, surprise, and laugh. And it can be a bit of a challenge, especially if it's your first time. I don't believe I did it right on my first try. This this particular clip is the successful attempt, but I believe there was one previous that I was not very successful on. I don't remember how far I made. Probably about midway through or something like that, and it gets a little harder as you go. The actions speed up, and if you don't do it just right, you'll fail and lose your 40 silver points. So again, definitely recommend saving before you do this. But they give you the clone for your success, and he says he leaves it at Chrono's house, which you can go check it out in his room if you want. I think I just run outside and save again, so I can do the finish the rest of the fair. So, like I said, again, the clone's for a side quest later on in the game. It's not necessary, but for a 100% walkthrough or completion, that's what we do. So, alright, got all our saving done again. I don't think there's ever a such thing as saving too much. Well, maybe there is when your Chrono is crazy overpowered, but hey, you know what? I always like to be on the safe side. There's nothing like losing a few hours of playtime on an RPG to frustrate a guy. So here we're gonna go run up and see Luca, but Marl says she wants to stop and get some candy. So we are trying to be as gentlemanly as possible. So you definitely don't want to press anything. You just basically wait there until she says she's ready, and then you can complete the dialogue. Alright, now we're gonna go, we'll see Luca and see what's happening in here. I always thought this was really neat. This is the first game I ever played that dealt with time travel, and it was kind of neat. I think the first RPG I ever played was, I want to say Final Fantasy III, which they remade and called Final Fantasy VI for the PlayStation. That was when I first got into them. Again, I don't remember what year that came out, but I'm pretty sure I bought it brand new, and loved RPGs ever since. I don't know where Chrono Trigger lines up as far as if it was my 4th or 5th RPG I ever played, but it was definitely one of the first. I'm guessing one of the first 10. I'm a big fan of the Final Fantasy series, so I generally get into those. There's a couple that aren't as good as others, but you know, for the most part, I like to try to find the good things in games, and I think for every single one of the Final Fantasy games, I have found something that I've liked. So, you know, as far as an RPG series goes, I would say that's my favorite. I mean, I think for sheer quantity of games in a series, Final Fantasy's probably got everybody blown out of the water, but, you know, it is a great series. Square Enix is, well, which wasn't always Square Enix, but now that they are one powerhouse of gaming, I think they do a pretty good job. So Marl jumps into the teleporter, and well, she didn't come back like Chrono did. So we're gonna go find out what's going on as Taban shoos away any onlookers. Man, that's gotta look fishy. I can only imagine what the townspeople were thinking there. But Chrono, being the good fellow that he is, has decided he is gonna go find Marl, the girl that he's just met. Which I think says something about his character, you know? He doesn't kind of courageously going off into the unknown for a person that he's just met. I think that's pretty cool. And it definitely appears that the pendant's got something to do with it. Because when Chrono, the first time Chrono used the porter, he didn't have the pendant, and he appeared just fine. Marl did it, and, well, she ended up somewhere else, so... So, I like the little time-traveling animation there. It's kind of neat. And here is Chrono in the brave new world. One thing of note, I always do like to save, like I said earlier, as much as I can. These guys, you know, if you come in here and you're low on health, you can be in a bit of trouble, but I was rested up beforehand. And the load sword makes quick work of the goblins or the blue imps. I think even if you're sporting the wooden sword, I'm pretty sure those are all a one-shot. I could be wrong, but... we got a couple more baddies want a piece of the Chrono. I don't know if these two must not have seen the 3 that he just took care of, but Chrono makes pretty quick work of these two as well. I believe there's a couple items here that we want to pick up before we go anywhere else. Yep, got here. Got a tonic and a power glove. Yep. Totally up to you if you guys want to equip the power glove or not. I felt that my I was a little OP at that point, so I left the bandana on Chrono, which actually gives him, I believe it's +1 to speed. So his little ATB gauge fills up a little bit faster. We're just kind of gonna cruise around town here and find out what's going on, see what's up, see if we can loot some people, or shop. You know, I could do that too. You know, I always like to stay up to date on the gear, and this stuff is all stuff that you can pick some stuff up here if you need some upgrades. I believe I already had better gear, so I passed. And here I think I just took a look inside of some of these houses to see if there was any loot to be had, and I believe all these houses are empty. And I don't think there's anything going on at the Truce Inn. Yes, we have another sealed chest up here. You can definitely try to remember where the chests are at. There's almost every single one of the chests has a counterpart depending on which era you're in. And that comes into play later. I'll try to do a better job of explaining once we get there. And the bridge is out for now. And I stop into the cathedral. This is kind of a neat little place if you want to talk to the nuns. The things they say are kind of funny. Looks like you could use some food and a place to rest. Yeah. I don't know about that. Chrono's pretty healthy right about now. Alright, so we're going to go into the Guardia Forest at 600 AD here and see what we can find. I believe there's another tab around here somewhere. Yep. So grab the power tab. And we'll continue on our way. One of these bushes has a little animal in it. There we go. Monster drop to shelter. Those things are really nice. They will restore your health and tech points to 100%. So I believe go back in, and you can actually shake that guy down or scare him off every time you come in here for another shelter. There you go. It's kind of a cheesy little way to get ahead if you want. They're like I said, they're definitely nice to have, especially later on. I tried to get those all lined up, but with the active, I think I had the active battle going there. It's kind of tough to make sure you get everybody in the cyclone, but all right. Continuing on. Let's get out of here. Alright, I believe that is all I've got for this video. But stay tuned and we will head into Guardia Castle.